Hello, everyone. For whoever didn't know who Alberto Rangel was, he was a social worker, a friend, and very sociable and a beautiful man, that he was killed. I think it has been maybe a month or 2 months that he was working at Ward 86, that is part of the General Hospital. And for what I read and the stories and everything, he was just trying to help. He was trying to help. All what he did was trying to go downstairs in the elevator, taking this guy that he has been acting out, and that, but it is known now that this guy had mental health issues and yes, possibly, of course, also, and not of course, but also some addiction issues. Alberto, as many of the people do right there or in many big hospitals around the city, he just was always smiling, always trying to do something good for someone. So he went down in the elevator with him. The guy was behind him, and for what we know about the story, next thing that he knew, this guy grabbed a knife and he killed him. He stabbed him on his neck a couple of times. I always, keep trying to see both sides of the story, because this guy, the guy that killed him, he tried to ask for help that day, and for what we know, maybe he wasn't given the help that he needed. In the end, Alberto died, and it has been something that it had affected so much the community right here in the San Francisco Bay Area, because he was friendly, because he was doing his job, because he was a beautiful man, and I don't think really even they have seen or analyzed really how much this had affected our community of Latinos, our community of advocates, our communities that go through mental health, our communities that go to the General Hospital, our communities that already have traumas, our communities that have done or are using drugs or have, addiction problems or users, so they are users sometimes. Our communities that are immigrants, our communities that have not enough sometimes or have not many people to help them. So from that, it had happened already, again, more than maybe a couple of months. And even when I went to UCSF, there was this a jar where people were writing notes for him. And even what happened today is that after all this time, I thought I thought I've been dealing with it in a normal way that we deal with someone that had died. When someone died in our lives, it's already traumatic enough sometimes, even if we understand his life. But when someone is killed or somebody died very suddenly, like a long time ago, somebody died of a heart attack, and I just couldn't believe it. I had to go to his house to really, like I wanted to prove myself that he was gone. So today, in all these chances of the universe, I needed to do some paperwork about my ADAP, that is the AIDS and drug that help us with drugs for HIV and things like that. So I needed to do this paperwork. I didn't realize that it was the office where Alberto died, until I was really walking in that direction. And this is how to tell you what's happening, the aftermath for many of us for our community. I was just walking in that direction, and I realized that it was the place, the place that that this happened. So I almost felt like stopping, like I couldn't walk, but I kept walking. I just told myself, you're making these things up in your brain. You have to just breathe. You have to calm down. And I was ready to enter, and this lady said, no, not in this direction. You have to go around the corner now. So what they have done now, this main entrance is now only for exits. So this is Ward 86 again in the General Hospital, and they're doing their best. But so I went around, and there was a guard in one side, and then they have now metal detectors. And there were like 4 guards. And really, it was even more overwhelming than when you are at the airport. The guy really went through all my papers and the things that I have for the pills for my pain, and I really felt that yes, of course, safety is priority, and they don't want this to happen again. But what about the patients, going to the General Hospital, going to this place for help? And this was already like getting to me, right? So, and then I was trying to figure it out where to go from there. And one of the guards told me, you have to go here and there and take the elevator to the 6th floor. And that was the elevator where Alberto was killed. So I was almost like hyperventilating, and again, just like one of those things that you try to tell yourself, calm down, this is just in your brain. So I got into the elevator, and there were some other people in, and then about the 4th floor, suddenly I was by myself inside there, and I felt like my breathing was stopping, and I even looked around for whatever reason, I was just. This is the first time that I'm coming back to the place of the things, of all these things that happen. On the moment that I arrived to the 6th floor, I was already crying. So I just immediately went to the front desk, and I grabbed some Kleenex, and I was trying to speak, and I couldn't. I was trying to just say what I was there for. to do some paperwork. But I kept grabbing Kleenex and I kept crying because I just looked at the side and I could see the doors where usually Alberto would come out from there and help people and always smiling, And this is my first time there. And I kept waiting, for the lady to come and help me with my paperwork for ADAP. And while that was happening, I guess it was obvious, like right now, that of course I wasn't okay, And suddenly, then these two ladies came out from these doors, and she said, "Oh, we're social workers. Can you come with us for a moment?" And I kind of assumed that was the reason. I didn't know for a moment if maybe they were also afraid of someone that might be a little bit unstable or whatever. But I also thought, of course, maybe they're just trying to help because they know many people have been really affected by what happened. So I went inside and they asked me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Of course I'm not okay. I just came here for the first time after what happened with Alberto, so this is kind of traumatic. So really, I feel like I should not be here. Like I should not be here." And then she asked me again, "Are you okay?" And I said, "You're repeating that, but I'm not okay. Many of us, we are not okay. We are still feeling what happened. So you can help me just to get to do my paperwork and I can leave, Thank you, but I just need to leave." So I went outside and finally the lady came to me and she asked me once again, "Are you okay?" And I said, "They already asked me if I'm okay. If you don't mind, just help me with my paperwork. I'm not even coming to this clinic anymore because of different reasons, but also because it has been too much. I knew even people that left the hospital and not coming here anymore because it's too much." So she did my paperwork and she said, "I'm just going to take a couple of minutes. This is wonderful. We've finished. It just takes 5 minutes." And then she asked me, "Would you like me to go outside with you? Or would you like to take the stairs? Or would you like just to go by yourself? But if you want to, I can come down in the elevator with you." And honestly, first, I didn't know what to answer. It really, yes or no. But I say, "Yeah, if you don't mind going down in the elevator with me, I will appreciate that." So she did, and she took me to the now only exit of the Ward 86 in the General Hospital, and I just say thank you, but you guys have to realize also how much really this had affected many of our communities, and at least myself, that I knew him as a friend, but also as a social worker in person. It had taken me a while to not keep seeing the images of him being killed. I made a mistake, of really reading all the details about it, and it was a horrible image. But what happened also when I was leaving the building, I realized that I was imagining from both sides of what happened. I was that patient that is with mental health issues that many people in our communities, many people in our long-term survivors, many people that have chronic illness and chronic pain, we are no doubt connected all the time to our mental health of anxiety and depression or PTSD, that any triggers take us back to those things. I realized that I was both people. I realized that I keep thinking about those two men. I am, what I'm talking about right now, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just one more person talking about what I kept telling myself. It's just there in your brain, in your head, in your soul. So just relax, Because the reality is that there is a man that it doesn't exist anymore in this earth because he died. But also when I saw all these metal detectors and really going through every little thing of every patient, a patient is still a patient. A patient is still going there to ask for help with physical or mental health issues. I promise you, it was even, I think, for my taste, a little bit more than what even people do in the airports. They were checking like every little thing. And of course, the nurse that was helping me doing those paperwork, she said that in the end, they're trying to not make this crime happen again, to evade this happen again. And in the end, that nobody's gonna be really pleased in the same way. But if you are a patient, if you are a client, I think you still have the rights to be treated with dignity and love and care. And yes, of course, safety is important, no doubt. And in many general hospitals around the country and in many other countries, of course, they treat people that they get there, with knives and gunshots and not in the right mental health, but I do believe that we have to treat still people with welcoming them to really be there to get better. Not those criminals. And no doubt we have to look for the safety of all these doctors and nurses and social workers. But if we think in this way, then many people then will say that what Alberto did was wrong, to go into that elevator by himself and help these men. Maybe it was wrong in some way of official rules, but Alberto was trying to do the right thing. Like many people break those little rules to help other human beings. In many of the agencies and organizations these days, there is this rule about like not touching or staying a certain distance of many of the therapists or social workers or nurses or doctors, and not to touch. It's like that extra barrier, right? But we know also how much of the difference can make when someone simply like in my Latino community, we're so used to at least shake hands. Imagine the difference that that sometimes a hug can do for many, or to really ask for real, how was your day? To really look into someone's eyes for a moment and really try to be there for someone else. Once again, safety is priority, of course, but we have to somehow find that balance. Because without caring, without humanity, what are we, So in my aftermath of Alberto, and it was his name, Alberto Rangel, he was a friend, not even a close friend, but he was a friend, and I knew him. And I keep seeing the images, and I keep seeing everything that happened, and I still believe that, and maybe it's stupid me, right? I still believe that we have to start from trust, from love, from caring, from really believing that we can help that other human being. When HIV started in the 80s and the 90s, there was this, all these rules, of course, about keeping the distance from many of us, not to touch us. Because, by the way, and this is where maybe I'm going to be criticized or lose many of you. It has been 41 years for me that I've been in this earth with HIV, and I remember very well those times of not going to the same bathroom, that maybe a mosquito will bite you and pass you the HIV, that maybe this, maybe that. And as soon as they knew that you were gay, and so maybe all those traumas from the past are sort of affecting me right now. Of course they are. But I should let all of you sleep and get some rest. And I was just watching something in TV about if many of us we will prefer to talk about our problems with a friend or with a therapist. And I think 73% say that it will be better to talk to a friend. Maybe we don't know anymore what it is like when we're doing this, maybe we are imagining that there's a very good friend right there listening to us and really caring for us. And we might not even read the comments, afraid that maybe somebody might write something horrible or wrong. But for a moment, I think that there's a lot of trust and connecting with someone and caring. So for whoever is there or was there in this moment, thank you. Thank you. And wishing and hoping that whatever your mental health issues are that we go through, I'm thankful about my passions and my love in this life, and thank you to all the friends that I have in there and the people that I connect with. So from San Francisco, with love, sending you a beautiful healing energy through all this rambling and talk. And I really just connecting with you guys for a moment. Jesus Guillen from San Francisco, California. Good night. Sweet dreams, okay?